The Gen Z guys aren't over here on TikTok all day, right?
I was super into like video games.
In the news right now is they say that Gen Z will never own a house.
I actually just bought a house. I just got engaged.
You're 20, you've already bought a house and you can still have a social life?
Yes.
Some of them are making bank, absolutely. But the important part is they are absolutely working for it.
There's a lot of people that were like, why are you not going to college? You know, you're wasting time.
So you're Gen Z and you know how to use a tape measure? Do you have a plan to buy a home one day?
I already have a home. A lot of people don't like coming to their workplace, but here I love coming over here.
Here at LaserWeld, currently we have about 10 Gen Zs. We're gonna talk to a few of them, ask them how they got started in manufacturing, and maybe along the way we'll break some misconceptions about Gen Z. The way we have it set up in a team productivity model, whatever rate the team is able to achieve, that's what gets paid out to everybody, whether or not you've been here 20 years or whether you've been here 2. So right here they're building, these are dehumidification units for data centers. So here we have to assemble them, tack them together, check all the dimensions, weld them out, grind them out, and prepare them for paint. Actually, you can pan over right here. Nathan's one of our newest team members here. When we brought him in, he was right out of high school. And so Nathan, you were 18 when we hired you. How long have you been working here now?
Almost 2 years now. It'll be 2 years in August.
If I'm remembering back, though, one of the things that kind of stuck out with you is you were 18, but when I interviewed you, you already had like, what, 4 years of work experience? What was it?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I was welding in high school, just doing trailer parts and whatnot.
I remember that. I was like, how are you 18 with 4 years of work experience? So that really stuck out. One of the big things going on in the news right now is they say that Gen Z will never own a house.
I actually just bought a house. I just got engaged. I bought a house about 3 months ago.
No way. Are you the oddball, or do you see a lot of other people that you've known growing up that are in the trades?
I try to surround myself with people that are, trying to go towards the same goal that I am, try to work hard and kind of achieve that American dream. And yeah, it's not very common to see kids like me wanting to weld or be in a trade. And there's a lot of people that were like, why are you not going to college? You're wasting time. You might want to go back, and it's hard to go back after you've been out in the real world, but I don't regret it.
So how much student loan debt do you have, Nathan?
I have zero.
Zero?
Just house mortgage.
Now you got a mortgage. Well, what about on the days when you didn't want to get up? I'm sure there was more than a couple of those.
There's a couple days that you don't want to get up, but you accepted the job, you have a responsibility, and that's something our generation needs to learn.
It gets hot in Texas, so what time y'all normally start?
Normally start about 5 a.m., the earlier the better, and then we're out usually by about 1.
So you get home at 1, what do you do?
Normally, I've done a lot of stuff to my house already, so now I just kind of kick back a little bit, go hang out with friends. I've already done the whole inside of my house, now just saving up to do everything else I want to do.
You're 20, you've already bought a house, and you can still have a social life?
Yes,
okay.
Yes you can.
Wow. And I'm sure it's a whole bunch of fun every single day, huh?
Oh, every day. It's a lot of fun. The heat's pretty fun too.
What do you think the biggest struggle of your generation is?
I think the biggest challenge really is work ethic. It's really hard to find it. I mean, most kids, they kind of have everything in high school. They get the brand new car. And me personally, and a lot of my friends had to work for what they had. I think it gives a different appreciation of what you have.
The cool part is if you have that work ethic and that willing to learn, you don't have to come in knowing everything, right? Because like in your case, they've been teaching you since the moment you got here.
Yeah.
But you've worked hard, you've done great. So.
Yes, sir.
So you're Gen Z and you know how to use a tape measure?
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, no, I mean, you would be surprised. I got a couple buddies that never use a tape measure. They're over here counting lines, saying the big one, the little one. Yeah, so
oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, trust me.
That's way painful.
Exactly, and we're like, man, we're almost 25 and you don't know how to use a tape measure. It's a little crazy, but yeah, no, it's something that you wouldn't expect people to not know, but some people don't.
How'd you get into welding, or what made you decide to get into
welding? So basically, I was on the route to going to school, university, but really that was just because I didn't know what I wanted to do. So in my head, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do my basics. Hopefully by then I figure it out. But then it was until my cousin, he explained like diesel mechanic. And he's like, it doesn't take long for school. Like, it's very hands-on, which I wasn't. I was super into like video games and that's cool, but for like something that's very hands-on, I wasn't the route, right? But I wanted something quick, something effective that like made money, kind of made a difference in a way. So I looked into a bunch of like quick kind of programs that could, I could graduate from and start immediately. And I saw welding, looked up a couple schools, and then from there, I mean, it was just kind of take off once I started learning, and from there, it's just been a never-ending process of learning everything that I can. Started working like, I think a month after I graduated.
Okay, so you got a job a month after graduating. Yeah, so because a huge problem is you hear that people get these degrees and then they can't find a job in
Yeah.
their degree, but
Yeah.
you didn't have that problem.
Yeah, no, I got lucky. But I also did take some of the jobs a lot of guys didn't want, which was, I mean, it might have been the lower paying job, but I mean, it's just like, once I got out there, I realized that it was just a bunch more, it's a lot more about experience than it is about like what you know, because there could be somebody who went to welding school or somebody who was just started welding in their, you know, in their backyard or doing fencing, anything like that. And they can, as long as they can do that test for you, you guys technically both know the same thing. But it also depends on the quality of the job. Obviously, no one's gonna look your way if you don't have some certificates, something like that. They're gonna pick the guy with the certificates over somebody that doesn't have anything at all.
Gotcha.
Just, you know, yeah.
You know, either to Gen Z, your generation, or you know anyone who's in school right now, is there anything you'd like to tell them?
Just keep learning until you get out of school. And once you're out of school, don't just look for like a certain option. Keep any option open, even if it's, you know, $20 an hour to up to obviously 35, anywhere above that. I would say just don't be afraid to take them lower jobs just for that experience, you know, because it's different. And if you want those higher jobs, they're gonna ask, how long have you actually been welding for? Not school, but getting paid, getting a paycheck, being a welder.
So actually, Thomas, you got a little bit of a different story, right? If I remember properly, you were going to school while you were working, correct?
Yeah, I started off, I was still in high school, being a senior, finishing out. And then right after that, I went into college and I was still working here, you know, part-time. Once I graduated, got to full-time, you know, doing a variety of different things I was able to do while here.
Did you have any friends that were like, why are you going into welding?
Yeah, I did have some friends that asked me that and all. They were like, oh, you spend all that time and money doing that. And I was like, well, I mean, I enjoyed the best of both worlds. I like welding. I like being in the office and doing like all the calculations, figuring out inventory management, how to speed things up. My enjoyment is efficiency. So any place I can find efficiency, that's where I want to go.
The Gen Z guys aren't over here on TikTok all day, right?
Not while we're working, no.
Not while you're working?
Not while we're working, but
There you
kind
go.
of, yeah.
Okay, so the older guys aren't having to tell you guys to get off your phone or get busy with it, or
Oh, no, not really, no.
do you get along well even with the older generations?
Oh yeah, for sure. Everybody has their own ways of things, but we all come together collectively and get things done. You know, no issues, real smooth sailing. It's not that anything big.
Did you start with welding, or what did you start out as?
I started in bending, actually. I was one bending and laser with one department. And I was just helping like clean off tables and like get parts organized, started bending some. And then that's when I started progressively getting to the point of being a welder. Then I still remember the day you put me actually right over here. And I was working with one guy, and then I was just kind of like, all right, I got to stay here for a little while because this was really fun what I wanted to do.
There's a lot of news reports and stories and YouTube videos that Gen Z will never own a home. You know, do you have a plan to buy a home one day?
I already have a home.
You already do? No
Yeah,
way.
I'm already homeowner for a year now, a year and a
Gotcha.
half.
So you worked through college, right? So what's your degree in?
Yeah, I worked at college. My degree is business with a concentration in supply chain management.
Supply chain management.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So is that something you're wanting to do long term, or like are you enjoying welding where you're at right now? Or
I enjoy welding where I'm at right now, but I think for the long term, yeah, I would like to do supply chain. I think having this experience, just like I said, on the other end of like how my office experience helps out here, this experience is going to greatly help me in my supply chain field because I will have a hands-on understanding of what it's like to like work outside, how to handle the parts, what to do in certain situations and such.
Gotcha. Okay. So you have a backup plan to get you in the AC one day, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's hot outside.
Before you started here, what were you doing?
I was an electrician.
You were an electrician?
Yeah, I was just a helper.
Were you working in Houston, or where were you working?
In Louisiana, so I would travel 3 hours, 2.5, something like that, Monday through Saturday. My baby was just born, so I would go back and forth. I totaled 3 cars because I would fall asleep because I would leave at 3 in the morning, come back at like 8 or 9, and then do it again, spend a little time with my baby, and then, yeah. So I would used to make $3,000 a week. I didn't even know you can make that kind of money here too as well.
What did it take your commute? I mean, you were going 3 hours. What did
From
it drop?
3 hours to 15 minutes.
15 minutes?
15
Oh,
minutes.
gotcha. So it was worth it.
Yeah, it was worth it.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see my baby more, my family more, spend time. At the end of the day, it's better to spend more time with your family. That's the goal.
Did you start in this department, or where
No,
did you start?
I started off in bending for about like less than a year, and then I started practicing how to weld on my off time, obviously. And then one day I just saw Aaron walking by. I was like, hey, Aaron, can you come check out my welds? And he liked it, I guess. And then the next day I started off in Tuesday Park, and that's how I
that was
started
quick.
welding. Yeah, but yeah, that's how I started MIG welding.
Gotcha. So you didn't go to welding school or anything
No,
for it?
no, sir. I started here.
Oh, you started here.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. Well, that's cool. I remember when you were in bending, right? So you started out just operating,
Yes, sir.
and then by the end you were doing setups and
Setups,
programming.
everything, yes, sir. You got me into the classes and everything.
I mean, so we paid for the classes.
For the classes, and then I
you
left
still
the
went?
next day. Yeah, and then literally the next day.
Oh man! You know, one of the things is that we don't ever want to hold somebody back.
Right,
Like if they, you know, if they have something that they want to move forward to, we don't, even if it hurts. You know,
Right.
even if we just paid for the class.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have to come by and tell you to get off your phone or to go find your parts.
Never. No, we don't have manager, supervisor, anybody. Like, because at the end of the day, you're working for yourself, right? You're
Gotcha.
making your own money. So all you're doing is hurting yourself by messing around, going to the restroom, hiding and stuff. You're hurting yourself, right?
Gotcha. But it's not always easy, right?
Oh, no, sir. No. Sometimes I don't get no sleep, but I still come, bust my butt, but it's worth it at the end of the day. Every Friday, whatever, if you see it, it's going to be worth
Okay,
it.
it's it all works out on
It all
Friday,
works
right?
out, yes, sir.
Okay.
Do you enjoy what you do?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Are you worried about AI?
No, not really. Not really.
You're not worried
because,
about AI?
No, I think it'll make our job easier, no?
I mean, it might, yeah.
It might.
But do you think AI can weld a backrest?
Probably. Not better than me. I
Not
don't
better
think
than
so.
you. Oh, there you go.
I always tell the guys I am the robot here.
I'm the robot. So how long you been working here now?
Been working here about 6 months.
I think you've been here the shortest. And how long have you been welding?
I've been welding MIG for about a year and a half or two. Well, I started off doing stick and TIG, so I'm kind of, I can say not new, but not really familiar with MIG. But since I got here, I've learned a lot.
You've learned a lot?
Especially with these people and the coworkers, you know, they really taught me, and they kind of leaded me in the right direction.
So I bet your learning curve since you got here is like straight up.
Yeah, it went straight up.
Are you just welding, or are you welding, fitting, grinding? What are you doing?
We do about everything here. We grind, we fit. All this right here behind me, we fit all that up, then we weld it, then we send it over here and we grind it all out.
So a lot of your passion or your interest in welding came from seeing your uncle do it?
Right. Yeah, I have a lot of family that welds, but mostly one of my uncles is close to me, and he started off welding, and I seen how he was in welding, and it kind of caught my attention. So I proceeded in doing that. Even in high school, I did little courses here and there, but it didn't really catch my attention then. But once I, started graduating high school, I started thinking about my future, and I asked him, and he led me to the right direction. So I went to school, and then I went to little shops here and there to learn. And once I got here, my passion grew even more. I'm very comfortable here.
If there's anything that you'd like to say to either, Gen Z or just young people in general, is there anything you'd tell them either about manufacturing or just a piece of advice?
Well, the biggest advice that I took is to never be scared to chase your dreams. Take any advice. Don't let it be like, oh, he's telling me what to do, or he's making making me feel like my welds ain't good. It's just all advice.
If you're a welder starting out, so you're saying be accepting and being willing to listen to criticism, right?
Right.
With the younger generation or the younger folks that are coming in, it's really important that we find creative ways to keep them engaged and find a way that they can succeed. When we brought folks in working by hour, we've really, really struggled. All the issues that the news complains about, we've seen every single one of those. But in the team productivity model, when we put them with folks who have been working, who have good work ethic, and we're in a team where if they win, they all win, we've seen guys come straight out of high school and to be able to perform at a very, very, very high level. And the learning curve is very, very steep. If you run a company, I'd encourage you, get creative with your systems, with your teams. And then if you're a Gen Z or younger, take a look at manufacturing. There are thousands of products that have to be made. There are good jobs here in the United States. Manufacturing never left, so the whole Made in America movement, we never left. So, I'd encourage you, take a look at it and get going. AI can't replace a good, skilled set of hands. They can't replace a good welder. There's a bright future, but it's gonna require some sweat. As always, if you have any questions or any content you'd like us to make, feel free to reach out or comment below, and let's make America manufacture again.